Imagine a town, a place you'd think is under the rule of law. But instead, it's governed by a different authority entirely: the cartels. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's the stark reality for some towns in Mexico, places that have fallen under the iron grip of organized crime. These places are essentially cartel-controlled territories, operating almost entirely outside the grasp and influence of the official government. They represent a chilling manifestation of the power that these criminal organizations wield, fundamentally challenging the state's authority. How does this pervasive control come to be established and maintained? It's a complex and multifaceted web woven from threads of corruption, ruthless intimidation, and the sheer brute force of power. Cartels don't just exist in these towns, they actively infiltrate local governments, corrupting police forces and undermining the very foundations of the justice system. They utilize a constant flow of illicit money to buy influence, effectively greasing the wheels of their operations, and ensuring that their interests are always prioritized. Simultaneously, they employ extreme violence and the threat of death to silence any form of dissent or opposition. If you are perceived as a threat or simply refuse to cooperate, the consequences are swift, brutal, and often fatal. You are simply out, eliminated from the equation. So, what does this cartel-controlled existence actually look like on the ground, in the day-to-day lives of the people who are forced to live under this shadow? Daily life is dictated by the whims and dictates of the cartels. They control almost every facet of existence, from determining who is permitted to sell specific goods and services, to restricting where people are allowed to travel, and even managing access to essential resources. Businesses are forced to pay exorbitant protection money, a constant drain on their finances and a source of perpetual anxiety. Residents live in a state of constant, gnawing fear, knowing that they are always vulnerable to violence, extortion, or worse, should they fall afoul of the cartel's rules. The cartels often operate with a brazen level of openness, with heavily armed members patrolling the streets, asserting their dominance and enforcing their own twisted version of law and order. It's effectively a parallel government, running in plain sight, with its own set of rules, regulations, and punishments. But why does this deeply troubling situation persist? Despite the best efforts of the official authorities to regain control, the cartels are incredibly wealthy, fueled by the relentless demand for illicit drugs and other illegal activities, which generates vast and seemingly inexhaustible sums of money. They also benefit from a concerning lack of effective law enforcement, as well as a long and complex history of endemic corruption that has permeated the institutions meant to combat them. The official government often struggles to regain control, facing heavily armed and exceptionally well-organized opponents who are always one step ahead. These cartels are not simply gangs, they are sophisticated criminal organizations with resources, networks, and a willingness to use extreme violence that far outstrips the capabilities of many local law enforcement agencies. What are the devastating and far-reaching consequences of this state of affairs? The impact on the affected communities is absolutely devastating. Violence is rampant, with frequent shootings, kidnappings, and other acts of brutality. Human rights are routinely violated, as the cartels operate with impunity, disregarding the law and abusing the rights of the people. The fundamental rule of law is eroded, as the cartels usurp the functions of the government and operate outside the legal framework. People live in a state of constant fear, anxiety, and desperation, and the local economy suffers significantly, as businesses are extorted, investment dries up, and the overall social fabric unravels. It's a dark, disturbing reality, and a stark and unsettling reminder of the profound challenges that Mexico faces in its ongoing and often desperate fight against organized crime. It's a situation that requires a complex, multifaceted approach, combining robust law enforcement strategies, the implementation of effective social programs aimed at addressing the root causes of crime, and a concerted effort to tackle the entrenched corruption that facilitates the cartel's operations. It's a long and incredibly difficult road ahead, but one that Mexico must traverse to reclaim its towns and restore the rule of law.